Hi class, this is JilMac. This is a training video for the Advanced Web Development class, and students who need to get a hold of me, my telephone number is right here. Basically, you can give me a call from 6 in the morning till 8 p.m. at night. I'm available lots of other times, but I would appreciate it if you just sent me a text or set up a time if it was different than 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. So, this class is about web development. When we log into Canvas from ccv.edu and go into our class, Advanced Web Development, which is CIS-1152, we're going to first see in our home page the any announcements that have come up and documents that are basic, the course description, the syllabus. So when you go to the syllabus page, you're going to get a list of assignments. Basically, these assignments are links that go out to my web page that correspond to the assignments that I have for this class, which is Advanced Web Development. If we go back to modules, and I'm kind of doing things by modules so that I can put my weeks together, you'll also see a link for online resources instead of a textbook. We're going to be using W3 Schools, but we're also going to be using some textbooks from the Hartness Library. And you're going to see that we have the Hartness Library resources. We have an embedded librarian that's going to help us if we need help accessing these books, MySQL and interacting with PHP, WordPress, and PHP-MyAdmin. And the really cool thing is that you get the whole book. You don't just get me giving you a couple of pages of the book, although I am going to give you sections of the book. You have access to this book, and you have access to all the O'Reilly series, which is really great. So I'm going to go back to modules again, and then go down to the next link. The next link is to ClassWeb. Everything that we're doing in this Advanced Web Development class, we are doing live on ClassWeb. If you haven't ever used ClassWeb before, ClassWeb is an Amazon web server. It's a real server. If you are initially logging in for the first time, you go out to ClassWeb.ccv.edu, and when you do, you're going to come up to, let me go back to this page. Let me get rid of this. Okay, and so when we initially go out to this, we're going to see where it asks us for a username and a password. If you've never logged in before, you're going to have to click Forget Password because you want to put in your whole email address. And for me, it's initials 08260, and then we're going to say at ccv.vsc.edu. And it's important that you put this on the whole .edu, ccv.vsc, and then you're going to submit it. You're going to get in your email a link so that you can go in and put in your new password. Now your Canvas password is different than your ClassWeb password. ClassWeb is a totally different system. But when you do go to ClassWeb, you're going to put in your username, and this time you're just going to put in your initials 08260, your month, day, 0 or 1 or whatever your login name is, but you don't need to put at ccv.c.edu, and then your new password. If you press the remember me, it's going to remember it, but you really need to write it down because no one has access to it. If you forget it, you're going to have to go into your forget password and just reset it again. Once you log into it, once you come to it after that, once you log in, you're going to get this screen. This screen is Centora, and Centora is a nice system that sets up basically your file management, how do you upload files, but also your MySQL, setting up a SQL user, using phpMyAdmin to go into your database. You're going to be able to back up and do some Syntastico when you go to install your WordPress site and different things. But when we go into your EL file manager, all your things that you want to be able to see on the web need to be under public HTML. And for me, I have set up a separate subdirectory for my advanced web development because I have lots of classes that use this web resource. And you can see that when I'm in this advanced web resource, I have my index.php file. And how do I access it? Well, in order to access it, we're going to go back to our class website, and we go to advanced students, and I'm just going to look at mine. So here, this is the link that brings me, and that's my initials, then .classweb.ccv.edu, and I'm going into my advanced web dev directory. So when I look in this advanced web dev directory, this is where my index.php file is. This index.php file when I go into this brings me to my index.php file. And this index.php file, when we look at, this is just a pull down menu, and we're going to look at assignment 1. This assignment 1, if you wanted to duplicate this menu, you can download the files that come directly from mine. It's going to automatically download these. When we go to open them up, these are the files that are in there. We have all the different files, and here's my index.php file. So my index.php file, if we want to look at this, let's open it. And I want to use, well, I want to use Notepad++, but for this purpose, we'll just look at Notepad. And in Notepad, you're not going to see your regular HTML because we're looking at a PHP file, but we are going to look at PHP includes. We have a header file, we have navigation, so we're doing things a little bit differently. And the first thing is that we're able to break up our files into pieces so that we can include them, so that we don't have to have redundant code in all of our files, that we can just put it once, have that footer file once, that footer CSS file, our header file, just like we did with CSS, we had it in a separate document. We couldn't do that in HTML, but now in PHP we can use that PHP include, and we can have a separate header, a separate footer, and different index files. And we'll be learning about that in the class. So let's go back to modules. I got my bio and that. We have our assignment, and when we do our research and introduce ourselves, we can put the replies right underneath. We can just click reply and add our information. So this is a quick overview, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. Thank you.